Contaminated drywall, toxic drywall, defective drywall, corrosive drywall, Chinese drywall. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's just really bad stuff. And if you've got it, you know exactly what we're talking about. The smell of rotten eggs, the corroding of brass and copper, the destruction of the air conditioning system, concerns about your health. But did you know that the solution might actually be worse than the problem? That's right, because there are a lot of questions that have to be answered when you start looking at how you might solve this problem that has become so pervasive throughout the United States. My name is Doug Hoffman. I'm the Executive Director of NORMI, the National Organization of Remediators and Mold Inspectors, and we were first introduced to this problem over 2.5 years ago when we started getting calls in our office from customers who were complaining about indoor air quality issues, and we looked at some of the very first testing that was done by the state of Florida and by the state of Louisiana, trying to determine exactly what these problems were. It became very obvious from the beginning, just as you saw in the problems video. There are a lot of problems with this drywall, and to try to figure out exactly what the problem is takes a team approach. So we formed a team of experts, microbiologists, DNA specialists, engineers, contractors, inspectors, and remediators, and try to determine exactly what the problem is so that we could begin to offer what we believe will now be a permanent solution. Stay tuned and we'll talk about exactly what that is. But we saw from the very beginning that whatever the solution is, it must include all of the problems that are facing us with this defective drywall. As a homeowner, you have a lot of questions that you need to answer. And you might have thought about these, maybe not. But let me tell you, it's very important that you make sure that the person who is doing this work has the right insurance. And what I mean by that is, whatever contractors are working on the site, they better have insurance that specifically covers contaminated drywall, because there are very few insurance companies that will actually cover this work. Have they been properly trained? It's not just the normal work of a remediator who might use the IICRC S500 or 520 standards. It's going to take somebody who's specifically trained in this area of corrosive drywall to figure out exactly how to solve all of the problems associated with it. Are they following court-accepted protocols? The court has already ruled in the case of some of the plaintiffs, and some people have actually been awarded money for the remediation process. But the judge has also required that the specific protocols be followed so that the people will really get their money's worth. Are you in fact preserving evidence? Have you not yet been awarded money from the courts in regards to this problem? Maybe you're in the process or considering the possibility of litigating against the manufacturer or contractor. The judge also said that anyone who enjoins themselves into this class action lawsuit must preserve the evidence. Don't allow somebody to come in and simply tear out the drywall and throw it away. Without preserving evidence, you will have lost all of your legal rights. Does the person who's working on this project have a plan? Did you know that some municipalities require specific permitting for this kind of work? And that means that they're going to have to deliver to you a permit that not only deals with the demo, the gross demolition, but also for the rebuild. And can this person who's working for you offer any kind of guarantee or warranty? NORMI has been working with a warranty company, third-party construction company, that actually warranties the work that's done following our protocols. That's right, a guarantee that the problems won't return. And whoever is working on your project, have they addressed the biological and mechanical concerns? We've seen case after case where remediation projects were done without following proper protocols, and a few weeks later, the odors came back. Can you be sure that the problems won't return? You can be sure if you're following the proper protocols. And who's going to pay for this process? Have you considered the mortgage company? They're dealing with a toxic asset. Have you considered Knauf, or one of the manufacturers of these products? Have you considered the contractor? Who's going to pay for this process? And are those who work on the job properly licensed to protect your interests when they do the work? Is there really anyone out there looking out for you and for your interests? I can tell you that that's exactly why we put together this team. 2.5 years ago, started researching this problem, and now able to offer a solution to people that really is looking out for you. Through Normie Pro Management, we're able to actually oversee every single project and make sure that from assessment all the way through the completion, when a warranty is offered, and even throughout the years following the completion of the work, an IAQ management program in place to be sure that all of the problems have not only been dealt with, but also been solved. Our warranty is offered through the National Construction Warranty Corporation, who has looked at our protocols and approved them and endorsed them for their warranty. And the interesting thing is even if you don't have Chinese drywall, corrosive drywall, but you're concerned that you do, this organization actually is able to offer 2 different warranties. One warranty is a no CDW warranty, which guarantees you, when you sell your house, that someone won't suspect that you have Chinese drywall. Even though you live in a subdivision that has it all around you, you can give a guarantee that your house does not, and that will allow it to retain its value. The other warranty is a 10-year warranty guaranteeing that the CDW has been removed. And that's following the proper protocols addressing both biological and mechanical problems. Normie also underwrites for you an optional healthier home warranty which guarantees indoor air quality. You know, there are several VOCs, volatile organic compounds, that are associated with a corrosive drywall, and this guarantee will address those specifically and allow you to know that the air that you're breathing is pure, clean, healthy air. This all starts with a certificate of sanitization once the project is completed. Normie provides for you a guarantee that the work that's been done has been done correctly, and then automatically offers to you through the certificate of sanitization program the toxic Chinese drywall warranty from National, and also the healthier home warranty from Normie. Let me give you a quick overview of how simple this process is. Of course, it starts with a screening or assessment, and this is to determine whether in fact you actually have contaminated drywall. There are a lot of people that have the odors associated with contaminated drywall. They may have even the corrosion that they're seeing that's associated with Chinese drywall, but they don't actually have it. And so this screening process is to get to the point of whether you can determine for sure that you either have it or you don't have it. And of course, during this process, through this process, you definitely want to preserve evidence in the event that you would want to litigate later. Let's suppose that you don't have corrosive drywall. Well, if you don't, then you can get this no CDW warranty, and if you want, the Normie Healthier Home Warranty for continued indoor air quality improvement. But this no Chinese drywall warranty would be invaluable in terms of your home holding its value if you intend to sell. If you have if through the assessment process you find that you do in fact have the corrosive drywall, then you would want to follow the standard Normie protocol, the remediation protocol, removing not only the contaminated drywall, but also those damaged, corroded items that would be part of the home, the plumbing fixtures or the plumbing tubing, also a part of the HVAC system, all those specific things that need to be removed to make sure that the problem is gone. But you also want to make sure that you've used the proper kinds of biocides to kill and destroy those bacteria and also molds that have been associated with this contaminated drywall. And by doing that, you get the Normie Certificate of Sanitization, the 10-year National Construction Warranty, and the Normie Healthier Home Warranty. But let me show you where this gets very, very interesting. The estimates of repair have run anywhere from $40 to $90 a square foot for the remediation process. And frankly, on a 2,000 square foot house, that's a lot of money. $80,000 to maybe $160,000 to repair this problem. And a lot of people just simply can't afford it. But since you've gone through the preservation of evidence issues and you've protected all of the evidence in case you do want to litigate, what if you had an interim protocol, an interim control in place that would allow you to actually continue to live in the home until the lawsuit was settled, so that you could then get your money and actually repair it? We have put together an interim controlled called the Normie Mitigation Protocol, and it's really a way of dealing with all of the off-gassing and other types of issues that are going on with the contaminated drywall without actually having to remove it. And there is associated with this the Normie Healthier Home Warranty. So for about $15 to $18 a square foot, maybe less depending on where you live, you could actually do this interim controls protocol, and that would stave off the remediation project until you actually found the money to do it. You wouldn't have to live somewhere else and pay both rent and your mortgage. You wouldn't have to lose your house because you couldn't afford both. You could actually continue to live in the home. This interim control takes typically a week to 10 days to do, so you could continue to live in your home during the period of time that you were waiting for the litigation to be settled, so that you could afford then to remediate. It's a great solution, and customers are finding great comfort and peace of mind knowing that these protocols are there to take care of the problem temporarily and permanently. So these protocols have been written. They're already in place and ready for you to decide which direction you want to go dealing with contaminated drywall. Of course, it starts with the assessment process. And so you need to give us a call at our toll-free number, 877-251-2296, and let us talk to you about how to get started through a simple online survey that you can take to find out if you even have the problem, to the point at least where maybe an initial screening wouldn't cost you very much. Then you could determine whether you actually wanted to go for a full-blown assessment. And when we offer a solution, it's a solution that's not only unique but actually works. Our solutions include specific biocides, EPA-registered products that have been made specifically for contaminated drywall. It addresses all of the corrosion. It addresses the indoor air quality issues. It monitors the progress to make sure that you've got a home that's safe, and all of the people who work on your project will be fully insured against any kind of liability that might be associated with working with this particular problem, this contaminated drywall. As far as I know, our protocols are the only protocols that have been accepted by a major insurance company who will write insurance, general liability insurance and errors and omissions insurance, professional liability, for those who assess and remediate corrosive and contaminated drywall. Well, that's how simple it is. We look forward to hearing from you as you consider the possibilities of how you might deal with this problem in the correct, safe way to not only protect yourself and your family from whatever concerns might be about your health, about the damage to your home, but more importantly, making sure that the guys that work on your projects are properly insured, properly licensed, and that a warranty and a guarantee can be given for the work that they've done. Thank you very much, and we hope you have a great day.